Okay, so yeah, very good, Chris. Because I'm thinking about how at one point I was going to get a job in corporate America. Well, I had a job in corporate, but I was going to get a job. Actually, my then spouse was going to give me a job at his company because they were looking for people in the mental health profession to work with what was called change management. And they were going to put us in these companies so that we can start training other people on how to deal with organizational change. And guess what, y'all? Everybody out here, change is so hard to deal with when it comes to employment that there's an extra group of people, a team of people, and their job is to help you psychologically deal with change. And this is called change management. I didn't even know this job existed. They were specifically looking at people with my type of skills to assist in what's called change management because just as normal, like as it is normal in your personal life, it's also like this in business. People are resistant to change. It's just a natural cognition. It just the idea of doing something different. And it's interesting, you mentioned like person one could be dreading this change and person two sees it as excitement. Which one are you guys? I see Deborah. I see you in here. Deborah will win. That's right. See, Deborah will win. She's in the chat. She's saying hello to us. Deborah will win. I bet you she's probably number two, the person who's going to be excited about change because she's got this attitude. And I often wonder, like, past experiences associated with change where you just feel out of control and you haven't quite dealt with that. I wonder if that has something to do with current transitional changes, the reason why people are struggling with change and the unknown. It could be their job, it could be relationships, or just life. They don't know how to move forward because they're living so much in the past. It could be a trigger. It could be a trigger for some people, about certain changes. What do you have to say with that?
I
Oh,
like,
wait.
oh,
Okay. Go ahead.
thank you, Alicia. I forgot. I forgot I was muted. So yeah, I think what people often don't realize because of the how we think about changes. For example, let's say it's a change in jobs. Yesterday I was working at this job. Today I'm working at this job. If it's a relationship, yesterday I was in the relationship. Today I'm not. We often think of it just we go one step to another. But in reality, when it comes to the mental health side, there's actually something in between. So you have the status quo, what existed before, that relationship you were part of before, the group you were part of before, the job you worked at before. And before you move on to the next one, or even as you are physically moving to the next stage, there is a part that comes with a lot of unknown and ambiguity. Because, for example, let's take relationships. The fact that you go from a relationship one day and then the next day you're no longer in it because you're broken up, that's very tied to your identity, who you describe you are. Boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, I'm the husband or the wife of. Okay, that's one of the cores to our identity.